There are a lot of things about the world that we live in that we just don't know about. And it doesn't matter how much hours of research we put into it to try to find an answer, it just never works. And one of those questions is, why do people still buy sports games? It just makes no sense to me because it is literally the worst type of games that release every single year. They are so lazy and the developers put so little effort into them that they are literally the definition of copy and pasted. Which I know that's something that a lot of people say a lot. Oh, this game is so bad because it's copy and pasted. Look, they use the same animation. Which is fine to like reuse assets you made because why would you just go and throw them away? But most games, at least they try to make something new. A good example is something like Call of Duty. At least the developers put in effort to try to make something new every single year. But sports games, no, they don't even put in that little bit of effort. They will literally use the same animations that they have been using since 2017 in their brand new modern games. And you know what's something that makes those games even better? Is that they don't even last for a long time. Because some brand new news ended up coming out that if you ended up buying WWE 2K22, well, guess what? You're not going to be able to play it online because they are going to shut down the servers at the beginning of next year. January 4th, 2024, that game is going to have no more online access. So basically, all of those brand new characters you made, you know, if you're sitting down and you're like, man, I want Commander Zavala to go and fight Lord Saladin in a WWE match, so you spend hours of your time making those characters so they can go inside the ring and beat each other up. Nope, you can't do that because all of that work is just going to be completely taken away because that's connected to the online servers. And that is just absolutely disgusting. I don't think you should be able to basically deactivate a game that is basically this young. It's only like 2 years old and they're already getting rid of it. Actually, I don't even think it's 2 years old. Actually, it is. I really don't care that much. The game is still extremely young. And I know there's a lot of people in the sports community saying that, oh, this isn't really that much of a big deal because they have been doing this for an extremely long time. Yeah, all because they have been doing it for a long time doesn't really make it good. It is still extremely bad, and I truly do feel like the sports community should be trying to fight back against this and trying to do something to make the company make the servers last just a little bit longer because this is just completely unacceptable. And this is something that a lot of other games do not do. For a good example, one of my most favorite games of all time easily has to be Destiny 1. I have so much memories of me coming back from school and then I spend hours of my time playing that game. It is absolutely amazing, and even though the game is garbage, like it is really bad, I still consider it a masterpiece in my heart. If I want to go and take out like the Xbox One or PS4, I can still play Destiny because the servers are still open and they are still a good amount of people who go back and play Destiny 1, especially when it's a time when Destiny 2 isn't really doing that good and the game is kind of garbage. A lot of people go back, play Destiny 1, and have yourself an absolutely amazing time. And it's something that you can still do now, even if you have a brand new console. I'm not sure if the PS5 have backwards compatibility, but I know if you have an Xbox Series X, you can still go back and play Destiny 1. And you can still have an amazing time. The game is basically still working. And that game is extremely old. I think it's around like 7 or like 8 years old. And you can still play the game. But this game, which is very young, you can't do that anymore. And that's just absolutely unacceptable. And even though I did make fun of the sports community just a couple minutes ago, saying that they don't fight back, I'm actually kind of wrong, because there is a section of sports fans who seems to be actually growing brain cells. They're actually using the brain that they're gifted with, and they're starting to fight back against these companies just releasing absolutely terrible and garbage video games. Because something that I have talked about is that the reviews are becoming extremely negative. It seems like every single time when these companies release a brand new game, the reviews get lower and lower everywhere, on the critics side and even on the audience score. Like a good example, one of the most lowest reviewed games on Steam, and this is something that I ended up talking about not so long ago, is NBA 2K24. That ended up releasing, and everyone came together and say, hey, this game is absolutely garbage, and literally the only thing that got updated were the microtransactions. 2K trying to find any way possible to milk their audience dry and basically take as much money from them as possible. That's the only thing they care about, and you can clearly see, because these games are literally falling apart. They are getting more glitchy. They are just broken. They are not working anymore, and the only thing that you can consistently do is take out your credit card and buy stuff. And I am so happy to see the community actually finding back, even though I think it's probably not going to make a difference at all. Because if you release a game in this genre, sadly, you already have an audience. There are going to be tons of people every single year who are going to go and buy these sports games, because these games aren't really made for actual gamers. And I hate saying that because that sounds extremely cringe. And that's also not true, because there are tons of gamers who will gladly go and buy microtransactions. So that is actually just completely wrong. But this game just isn't made for people who actually care about like the quality of their video games. They're probably not going to go and buy this anymore. I think these games are mainly there to market to like the average consumer, because I'm guaranteed that sports games, just like most games that exist, they probably only make money from a couple of whales. Those people who basically spend thousands of dollars every single year to basically max out their character, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Is the whole purpose for you to go and buy a sports game is so you can go and play the campaign, level up your character, have a progression system? Why would you just buy a game just for you to go and pay your way to be number one? That just makes no sense to me. But a lot of people do that every single year, and basically like week one on these brand new releases, you will have tons of characters walking around with basically just max stats, looking absolutely jacked because, well, they basically paid to win their way up there. Especially if you're playing something like 2K, where literally day one you have people who are like overall 99, which is absolutely insane that is still happening to this day. But that is because if you have access to these extremely big brands like the NBA, WWE, and even FIFA, people are gonna go and buy the game, sadly. So there's really nothing that we can do about this, and no matter how much we complain, people are still gonna go and buy the game. But that's not gonna stop me from screaming and crying, because I have a mouth and I'm gonna use it to complain about garbage sports games. Because me, just like a lot of people, I used to be a fan of sports games, and I just want to go back to the time when these games were actually good. But I think those days are truly over, and they're just never going to come back. Anyway, this is reason 552 why sports games are garbage and they are a scam, and why you should never buy them. Anyway, my name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.